knowing Oregon State wants to blitz, how is he going to be able to handle that in the pocket?
Everett Hayes has a strong leg, and he boots that one right through the end zone. The last time a true freshman started at quarterback for the Aztecs was all the way back when they weren't even Division I. But a true freshman in Danny O'Neal, whom Lewis recruited at Colorado, jumped with him here to San Diego State, just 6 feet tall. He was a little wobbly in the first half, but he was brilliant in the second half last week.
Yeah, we talked to Coach Sean Lewis about him and his performance last week. Hey, what was the difference in the second half? He calmed down, he got the jitters out, and he showed the composure to be able to lead the troops.
Little play action, O'Neal's throw, and a little strong there, Jashawn Polk. All right, San Diego State's offense, if you want to describe it this way, power run game and then spread with extreme tempo. That sounds like a sandwich order.
Yeah, what they want to do is establish the ground game, get Marquez Cooper going, and then boom, hit play action and hit the ball deep to their wide receivers. They love explosive plays in this offense.
They lost talent in the transfer portal. They added talent in the transfer portal. Shotgun here and a carry on the ground, and Marquez Cooper spun around. Oregon State traditionally very good defensively, especially against the run. The Beavers defense, attack style defense, tight press coverage. Keith Hayward's their new coordinator. He's a former Beaver. He hasn't changed a lot.
Hasn't changed much at all. They want to be more aggressive than they were last week. Expect some blitzes, particularly on third down.
This is third down. That's not going to be enough for the first down. Nate Bennett makes the catch, and Oregon State had him blanketed. That was Andre Jordan Jr. with the stop. It's 3 and out. That's a good sign for Oregon State. Not a great sign for San Diego State. Sean Lewis said we cannot afford to fall behind early against Oregon State.
Well, you saw that throw on first down by Danny O'Neal, just overthrew his receiver who was coming open across the middle. Very similar to how he started the game last week. Probably needs to settle in. More quick throws to start the game once he gets back out there so he can get more comfortable and find his rhythm.
End over end punt fielded there. Nice break of a tackle. And Walker hit, lost his helmet, held the ball. Flag is down. This is Cal McNeil, our referee. And they will discuss the flag.
Personal foul, face mask, number 9 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the kick, automatic, first down.
San Diego State was really messy last week with penalties, and right from the get-go, that's a face mask.
Yeah, this was an issue for them last week to start the football game early. 16 penalties in that last game a week ago, and an early one to start this football game. Rich, if they want to have an opportunity to really win this game, they've got to be disciplined.
Giovanni McCoy, transfer from Idaho, didn't have to do a lot, but what he did was really good last week. 9 of 10 for 114 yards and a touchdown.
Didn't get antsy, took what the defense gave him. And I think you'll see a similar type performance tonight, just a hit more workload.
Jam Griffin, 9 yards on that first carry, upended in San Diego State territory right at the 45-yard line.
We're going to see Jam Griffin just bounce out to the outside right there and make a cut downhill for a positive gain there. First career 100-yard game for Jam Griffin last week, and he's going to be looking to carry that momentum into this game tonight.
2 tight end look. It was a gain of 8, so second down and 2. McCoy to throw, on the mark. That's Reddix with the catch. And Oregon State comes out, runs it for 8, and a nice throw there for 16 yards.
And you're going to see Oregon State run the football on first down and then come back on second down, fake the run, and this is what the game plan was heading into the game. Getting Giovanni McCoy into some quick opportunities off play action so he can find his rhythm early in this football game, knowing he's going to have a heavier workload tonight.
Ryan Gunderson, first-year offensive coordinator, and yes, another former Beaver. McCoy, empty backfield, has time, fires, caught there, right in the letters. That's Griffin out of the backfield, and he holds on to that one. Oregon State's offense. It's a blend of last year with some Chip Kelly concepts, because Ryan Gunderson was working under Chip Kelly at UCLA last year, and he's brought some of that stuff to Oregon State. Jam Griffin inside the 20, down to the 17, and that is a first down. So Oregon State impressive. The penalty on the punt return started the drive, and the Beavers have been getting good chunks since. Our red zone provided by Verizon. 5 trips last week, 4 scores, 3 touchdowns. It's a first down. Griffin gets it again. Big hole, bounces outside. He's 5, he leaps, he is in. Touchdown, Oregon State, 16 yards. Wow. Pump up the jam.
Oregon State wasted no time on their first drive establishing who they are in the run game. We've seen Jam Griffin on this drive bounce to the outside twice. Undisciplined on the edge so far for San Diego State, allowing Jam Griffin to find that edge, and this time he takes it all the way in for 6. That's a really nice run.
And it's a smart run. Did you see when he made the leap? He spun to the inside, so the ball was on the inside and got over the pylon and over the goal line. If he keeps it on the outside, it probably doesn't cross, and it's at the 1. Extra point. Blink and you missed it. It's Oregon State who's playing fast and playing well already. Jam Griffin bouncing outside, little spinorama, and a touchdown for the Beavers. 7-0 lead. Carvana brings you the keys to the game, and so does Robert Turbin.
Yeah, for Oregon State offensively, they got to execute on the explosive plays. I think they need 7 in order to win this game, and defensively, they got to win on first down. They've done that so far. San Diego State offensively, clean operation, no penalties, all right, and they got to handle the blitz when they come, and defensively, they got to find a way to get these turnovers. I think 3 will help them win this game tonight.
And a costly 15-yard penalty on special teams already for San Diego State. Into the end zone, down to the field, Amanda Guerra. Amanda?
Well, Rich, notably absent from this Oregon State starting defense, linebacker Isaiah Chisholm ejected last week, so he's not allowed to play until the second half of this game. That's a penalty right there. He had multiple of them, but finally, that targeting penalty. Now, this is a team that's embracing the words violence, physicality, so we asked Coach what he thought about the penalties. He's basically calling it a learning experience, but he said penalties because of effort. Those are the ones he's fine with. Penalties that are controllable, those are the ones he wants to eliminate.
All right, thank you, Amanda. And remember, the Beavers say we want to be violent on defense, and I think, as you pointed out, he may have carried it a little too far last week with 3 big flags. That's a nice throw on the run, but no catch there. Jashawn Polk and Sailasa Vendrawali on the coverage.
It's actually a really nice throw by Danny O'Neal, rolling to his right. He initially wanted to go to Marquez Cooper right there into the flat, decided to go to Jashawn Polk, and he's got to make that catch right there, Rich.
So O'Neal missed badly on his first throw, and on that one was on the mark. Last week, 22 of 33, 11 of 12 in the second half once he warmed up. And let's see if Cooper can get into some rhythm. Melvin Jordan Jr. lined him up and knocked him down.
He's the green dot for this football team, one of the captains and leaders of this football team as well. Nice job coming downhill, inside out. Gets his head out of it. Nice form tackle right there to force a 3rd and long.
Aztecs struggled on 3rd down last week. Shotgun, whistles, flags, probably a procedure.
And this is one of my keys to the game. Operation for San Diego State, Rich. Can't jump off sides.
False start, number 53, offense. 5 yard, lane 3rd down.
That's Miles Morale getting the start at left guard after Joseph Bourgeon last week went down with an injury at left tackle. So number 70, Christian Jones, goes out to left tackle. And Miles Morale is starting at left guard, a penalty right there.
Polk in motion. O'Neal, little screen pass. That's Cooper with the catch. Racing ahead. Cooper stays on his feet and has the first down and is upended at the 45. My goodness, Marquez Cooper. Skylar Thomas made the stop.
Well, look at these big offensive linemen for San Diego State. Ross Masai Uli and Nate Williams getting out in front, providing a block out there for Marquez Cooper on a big third down play.
That's a keeper there, and O'Neal slides into the 48-yard line. Jack Kane made the stop for Oregon State. Marquez Cooper, 223 yards last week. He played for Sean Lewis at Kent State for 3 years. Last year he was at Ball State. When Lewis got the head coaching job here, he jumped into the portal, and jumping over the line is O'Neal, the quarterback. Jacob Schuster made the stop. He jumped right into the 50-yard line. This will bring up third down and a long 4, call it 5.
Danny O'Neal trying to show off the hops right there. A little bit of a dangerous play, but able to get this team in a third and manageable situation right here.
Shotgun, little blitz, deflected and incomplete, and wide open was Cooper on the outside. I don't know that they had anybody on him. Nico Taylor got a hand on it.
Well, you're going to see a blitz come off the right side of the offense right there. Number 25, Nico Taylor for Oregon State. And this was actually a really good read by Danny O'Neal. Marquez Cooper was his hot route on that particular pass play right there. And Nico did a great job getting his hand up and knocking it down, Rich.
One thing Sean Lewis talked about with O'Neal at 6 feet tall, he has to find the passing lanes. And in that case, he didn't. Trent Walker with a fair catch for Oregon State. Beavers scored on their first drive. They'll get the ball for the second time, and Jam Griffin, electric. Liberty visit the Dallas Wings right here on CBS Sports Network. Last drive, impressive for Oregon State.
Well, you can see right away, this team wanted to come out and run the football, but also establish a healthy amount of balance. 3 runs on that last play, 2 passes on that last drive as well, getting Giovanni comfortable within the pocket early, and then boom, Jam Griffin bounces it to the outside and finding 6 for this Oregon State offense.
And Oregon State was smash mouth last week. We told you they ran for 362 yards on 58 carries. And Anthony Hankerson, who went for 155, is in there right now. And it's Hankerson's first carry, and through the line he goes to the 11. All right, this is the first time in 15 years this hasn't been a Rocky Long type defense for the Aztecs. It's multiple with 4 down linemen and the defensive ends who have speed they want to use as weapons.
Yeah, they've made some changes to this defense as well, right? You'll see number 32, Marlon Luis, lined up at defensive end, used to be a linebacker. They've changed some guys around, try to fit the scheme that they want to run defensively.
Walker in motion. McCoy the shotgun, 2nd down and 6. Hankerson again spins off a tackle, falls across the 15. Owen Chambliss made the stop. Just shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for Oregon State.
Yeah, you'll see right away with Anthony Hankerson. Very good in tight spaces, able to make you miss. You'll see right there a spin move to get a couple extra yards right there. And 3rd and short now for this Oregon State team. I think they'll continue to go to the well as Jam Griffin comes into the game at running back. This is going to be a run to Jam Griffin or a keep by Giovanni McCoy.
3rd down and a long 1. It's Griffin who's hit, plows forward, lower body strength. That's 1st down, Oregon State.
You'll see right there, one of the great things about Jam Griffin's game is 1, contact balance, being able to stay on his feet after contact, but 2, the vision to find those tight creases, and they found a tight crease right there for a 1st down.
Both Trent Bray and Ryan Gunderson, the offensive coordinator, said last week they were vanilla, but, I mean, the running plays and the running game, they didn't really need to get that exotic. Play action here. McCoy loads up, fires for the sideline, overthrows Walker, and it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Just trying to lure the defense forward with this play action. They've been successful in the run game, and you can see those linebackers playing up to the line of scrimmage, having to turn around and sprint just outside of the wide receiver's catch radius that time. Good job by William Nemo Jr. on the coverage.
2nd and 10. McCoy again to the sideline, again on the mark. David Wells Jr. with the catch. He had a 55-yard touchdown last week against Idaho State on another first down.
Giovanni McCoy showing the skill set from the pocket, a very on-time and accurate throw that time to Wells on the sideline, and see this team getting him comfortable in this passing game early.
That's Griffin. And Griffin, another good chunk there of about 6 yards. Tano Letsuli, the stop for San Diego State.
And Rich, this game is going to be very much about who wins at the line of scrimmage. I said it at the start. Which defensive line was going to be able to dominate? And right now it's the Oregon State defensive line winning much more than San Diego State's, and Oregon State offensively is taking advantage of it.
On the ground with Ala, and he'll get to about the 44-yard line. Sam Benjamin made the stop. Trent Bray told us this week, hey, when we are successful at Oregon State, he's talking about the last 20 years, we run the ball and we run it well and we have great defense. And that's the formula that he wants this year here.
Well, there's no shying away from it. And they like to use multiple running backs. Obviously, Hankerson and Jam get most of the attention, but we saw Ala, and now we're seeing Jake Reichel in the game.
Yeah, it's the fourth running back for Oregon State. Short yardage here, third and less than a yard. Reichel head down, gets popped, and I don't know that he has it. Krishna Clay made the stop, and the official's mark is short of the line to gain. This is going to be fourth down and less than a yard.
Reichel here trying to get the yard, but a nice job right there by Krishna Clay. Being physical and stopping them short. I think Oregon State in this situation should go for it, and they will.
Yeah, they're in their own territory at the 43. They could also try to draw San Diego State offside. McCoy shotgun. And straight ahead, and this time with a little more momentum, Reichel's got the first down. He blasts his way out to the 49. J.D. Coffey made the stop.
And this team is so confident in their ability to be able to move guys off of the line of scrimmage. You can see right there on that right side, Tyler Volton, Grant Start, getting a double team push right there, opening up that crease for Jake Reichel to be able to get that first down.
Already 60 yards on the ground for Oregon State. McCoy, who is dazzling at Idaho, transferred in, threw for 5,600 yards in his last 2 seasons.
Well, it looked like they couldn't get the communication quite right there on Oregon State's sideline, and we're going to have to take a timeout here.
Oregon State takes their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Keep in mind, Rich, the in-game helmet communication is something new
Timeout on the field.
this season for college football, but it cuts off at 15 seconds.
Seven 0 Oregon State will step aside.
You are my sunshine.
Nothing start for Trent Bray and Oregon State. Now this is Mountain West against a team from the dissolved somewhat Pac-12. 6-game scheduling arrangement involving all Mountain West teams, but this is not part of that arrangement. This was a game that was scheduled. So Oregon State will play 7 Mountain West teams. Ball sits at the 49-yard line. Giovanni McCoy hands off to Jam Griffin, and he's hit after a yard by Trey White.
Trey White, team captain for this team. As we look at this scheduling agreement, Rich.
Yeah, it's an agreement that's not been extended for 2024, but for this year, it gives Oregon State and Washington State the chance to play 3 home games and 3 road games against Mountain West opponents.
And I think what ultimately Oregon State and Washington State are doing is weighing their options to see what's the best choice for our institution.
Jam Griffin is split bottom of your screen, and McCoy fires to the sideline. That's been one of his best throws, is that sideline to his arm side. Trent Walker with the catch.
Trent Walker, a.k.a. Sauce is what they call him. That's his nickname. He had a great training camp this offseason as he makes the catch right there on the sideline. Coach calls him a rising star. Certainly a player to be on the lookout for.
And last week was his first career start. Now this is a little more of a third down opportunity. The last one they came up short on, but they made it on fourth down in less than a yard. And McCoy, looks like he's changing the play. Griffin, and he's going to be well short, back to the line of scrimmage. This is a different fourth down now. You're looking at about fourth down, a long 5, maybe 6.
Well, them running the ball on third down to me indicates, Rich, that they want to go for it here on fourth down. I would punt it, but because they ran the ball on that third down situation, I think that indicates like, hey, this is 2 down territory for us. We're going to go for it on fourth down. Let's see what they decide.
I think in that equation, though, they're expecting to at least gain a couple yards with that carry, so it was not 4th and 5, but maybe 4th and 2. It's 4th and 5, just outside San Diego State's 45.
This is huge for San Diego State here.
And it's huge for Oregon State, so much so that they're going to call a timeout, I think. Yes.
Before the snap, Oregon State takes their second timeout of the half. Timeout on the field.
Perhaps a little indecision by Oregon State there, huh, Rich?
Well, look, I mean, you've got brand new head coaches. Trent Bray certainly has been around as the defensive coordinator, a very successful one.
Yep.
But when you put the headset on and you're making these type of calls, that's a little different for both Trent Bray and both Sean Lewis. We asked him a few days ago, do you use the analytic book, which is so popular across college football? And he said, yes. We go with what the book says, and then we have input on what we're seeing in real time as well.
Yeah, they try to use a balance of both. And the other thing we talked to Coach Trent Bray about was, hey, how is it for you, being a head coach as opposed to just a defensive coordinator from a duty standpoint? And he mentioned the decision-making being a huge factor.
All right, let's see how they play this. If they're going to try to draw him offside, if they're going to actually go for it on 4th down and 5, they got to get down to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I gotta say, if you're San Diego State's defense, you feel a little bit disrespected, as if Oregon State, they're so confident in their offense, they can convert this a huge play.
McCoy flushed, looking. He's good with his feet, fires it, and it's incomplete. And San Diego State holds and gets the ball back in great field position. The pressure came, and it forced McCoy rolling away to the offside. Beavers on top. San Diego State with a stop and maybe some momentum. 7-0 start, 3,800 yards, most in the nation. Kent State, and for those 3 years, Sean Lewis was his head coach there. Then Ball State last year, and a flag is down. Bouncing outside is Cooper, and that's a big gain. We'll see what the flag is. It sits back at the 43-yard line. San Diego State, a lot of penalties last week and a lot early here tonight.
Holding, number 53 offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
That's Miles Moreau there, second penalty of the game. Let's take a look at it. You'll see his right arm just grabbing the shoulder pad that time, twisting that defensive tackle. And these are the plays San Diego State can't have, especially on first down. When you're an up-tempo team, first down is incredibly important for the tempo of your offense.
They've slowed themselves down, which is not easy to do.
Not easy.
Shotgun. Jalen Armstead on this carry. And he's back to the 40. We check in with Amanda Guerra.
Well, Rich, for a good amount of time that San Diego State was on defense, freshman quarterback Danny O'Neil was actually in the injury tent. I noticed during that last drive, he came off a little hobbled. When he came out of the injury tent, and he was in there for quite some time, they put a brace on his left knee. You can see it there, but let me tell you, he ran out of that injury tent ready to get back in this game.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Armstead again, and he's back to the 44. This is going to be a long third down and about 12. O'Neil missed on an open receiver deep early and then had one batted down when he had Cooper in the flat wide open and nobody near him. So a lot of misfires so far for San Diego State offensively.
Look out for Oregon State bringing some pressure here. They've got both their linebackers walked up to the line of scrimmage.
Quick throw, Armstead, nope, he drops it there. And so the Aztecs right now can't get going fast, can't get going at all with drop balls, missed throws, and lots of penalties.
Well, this time he's got his running back in the flat, Jalen Armstead, and this is the second drop of the game for San Diego State. And just an offense not in sync with one another right now, not on the same page.
Tyler Pastula, Walker with a fair catch, makes it. And so Oregon State going to start this backed up about the 11. There's a flag down, and it's back at the line of scrimmage.
Holding number 42 of the kicking team. 10 yards will be added to the end of the kick. First down, Oregon State.
And the penalties just keep coming for San Diego State. College football continues on CBS Sports Network. Next Saturday starts at 1. UMass visiting Buffalo. And then what a rivalry this is. Number 11 Utah and Utah State. And then BYU on the road at Wyoming.
I'll be in Utah for that Utah State game, one of the classic rivalries for the state.
They were dominant. It was not a Big 12 game. That was actually scheduled. It doesn't count in the standings, but it counts as far as style points as they whipped up on Baylor. Jabari Johnson comes in at quarterback. Johnson, the transfer from Missouri, still kind of learning this offense. Was 2 for 4 last week. Anthony Hankerson right side. Hankerson to the 26-yard line. Kyle Moretti made the stop. A Tacoma kid, so out of the Northwest. At Missouri, he had some pretty good guys in front of him. Missouri has had 2 terrific seasons in a row. A high ceiling, according to Ryan Gunderson, and was scheduled to play in this game. So here he is with a 7-0 lead in the final seconds of the first quarter. And on a reverse, this is Zachary Card to the 30. He's close to the first down, right around the 31-yard line.
Well, just going back to, as we look at this fly sweep by Zachary Card, we talked to offensive coordinator Ryan Gunderson about Card. He says he's got great speed, a deep threat within this offense. And as Jabari Johnson, going back to the quarterback conversation, is in this football game, a big third down to sustain this drive, but they love his legs and athleticism. When we talk to Ryan Gunderson, look for that here on this third down.
And the quarter ends just before the snap comes back. So a while to chew on this call here if you're Oregon State on third down and a long one. Beavers impressive in their first drive, stuck it in the end zone, and on the road in the Mountain West, they're on top of San Diego State. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. On to the second, 7-0, Oregon State on top. Moments ago, Amanda Guerra with Sean Lewis.
Coach, you told us this week you wanted to see your players settle in a little earlier in the game. I heard them on the sideline trying to calm each other down. How do you feel about where they are right now?
I think they have confidence, right? They know that there's plays there to be made, and it was a great fourth down stop. So, obviously got to respond here as we get going with it all, but I like the confidence that we're showing on the sideline.
Danny O'Neil with a brace on his knee now. He's good to go?
Yeah, he's good to go.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Boy, his offense is fast, and he likes to talk pretty quickly there, too. This was dominated the first quarter by the Oregon State Beavers. Really sharp was Giovanni McCoy, and he spread the ball around. He ran it well, and here they're faced with 3rd down and 1. Where do they go?
I think they go right here to Anthony Hankerson. This team is confident with their offensive line. They run it.
They keep it on the ground, and they've got the 1st down. And Hankerson with a gain of 2.
You're going to see here Anthony Hankerson right there in the middle of that offensive line. Once again, Van Wells at center, Tyler Bolton, Grant Stark just getting enough push along that right side of the offensive line to be able to convert in 1st down. And this is what they want, Rich. 3rd and shorts, give it to our backs. Let's convert, keep the drives going.
Johnson rolling. He's outside, and he's got wheels, cross midfield, and jogs it inside the 45. That's nice stuff from Jabari Johnson, the kid from Tacoma, 23 yards.
Well, there he is showing that athleticism right there. Marlon Luis, number 32, had a beat on him there in the pocket. And Jabari Johnson able to escape with some ease right there, Rich. Just getting to the outside, no panic. Gets around the edge, gets out of bounds for a 1st down.
This is a lot more detailed and varied than what they showed offensively against Idaho State, and that was by design. They were very, very vanilla, and Ryan Gunderson admitted that in our visit with him this week. Hankerson, left side, didn't get far. Trey White from his edge position, who was a sophomore captain for San Diego State, made the stop. That's how young this team is. They've got 2 sophomore captains, and they haven't had that since 2005.
They try to bring Jermaine Terry across the formation to make the block on Trey White. And that time Trey White just too physical and makes that play on 1st down.
A lot of turnover from both sides. Only 54 players returned for the Aztecs. Some graduated, some transfer portal. Hankerson inside the 40, going to get to about the 39-yard line, sets up another 3rd down for Oregon State.
And essentially, Rich, that was the same play to the other side, right? The 1st down play was Terry, the tight end, Jermaine Terry, going from right to left across the formation. That time he comes from left to right. Expect the play action later on in the game to hit him in the flat.
Robert, Everett Hayes has a huge leg for Oregon State, and there's no wind here tonight, so this is field goal range, albeit on the outskirts of his range. He has kicked a 60-yarder in his career, hit a 50-yarder against Oregon. Quick pitch, Hankerson, great open field tackle there, and this pushes them back to the 42. I don't know that they're going to try a field goal here, and it's Josh Green, the punter, who's jogging on the field.
Watch Eric Butler blitz off the edge right there, really forces Jabari Johnson to pitch that ball sooner than he wanted to. And then this San Diego State defense able to swarm, forcing Oregon State out of field goal range, Rich, into a punt.
Josh Green will try to drop this inside the 10-yard line. A little end-over-end action, a fair catch called for. And Polk made the catch. I think it was tipped by the Oregon State player, and thus a flag is down. I think that's fair catch interference. And the fact that Polk actually held it, it may have actually hit the helmet of the defender on the way down. Let's see.
Kick catch interference, number 34 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the kick, automatic 1st down.
That was Jake Reichel down there on special teams. So the penalty goes against Oregon State. Aztecs with the football. Oregon State a 7-0 lead over San Diego State. A little over 3 minutes gone, 2nd quarter. This defense for Oregon State, I mean, Trent Bray's the head coach. You know they're going to be good.
Well, the key is that they've been winning at the line of scrimmage and stopping this run. Marquez Cooper only has 6 rushing yards in this football game. San Diego State has to find a way to establish their run game and get Marquez Cooper going on the ground, all right, so they can sustain a drive here on offense.
Tavita Pamee. You saw there the redshirt freshman, the transfer from Oregon. And it's kept by O'Neal. And even with that knee brace, he's continuing to run the football. He pulled it just in time. And he gets out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. I don't know that he can survive doing that on a regular basis. He's exposed himself to some pretty good hits here. Quick throw there. Polk makes the catch. He's right at the stick. Thrown down by Vindrawale. And that's a first down. They mark it at the 35.
Nice quick drop and a quick strike to one of his favorite targets, Jason Polk. And they're able to convert for a first down. This is what they need, and this is what they don't need right here as they try to get this offense going fast. Rich.
And that's what they looked like last week, like a bunch of guys that didn't play with in the same team last year, which they're
All-star,
not.
Number 74 offense. 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
There's a lot of guys from a lot of different places trying to figure out how to play fast. And it's the 5th penalty already for San Diego State.
Yeah, you're going to see Nate Williams just get a little antsy right there, and he's one of their experienced players. He knows he's got to be better.
Nice little hole there. And Cooper fights his way out to the 38-yard line.
This is the key right here, Rich. You're going to see Cooper. One of his best attributes is his patience behind the line of scrimmage, and then once he sees the crease, he accelerates.
Second down at about 7. Cooper again bounces it outside. Flags are down. Cooper is knocked out of bounds at midfield. Skylar Thomas with the hit, and this feels like another San Diego State penalty.
Michael Harrison clearly holds the defender and doesn't have to. I mean, Cooper has the edge. He's around the corner. You got to let go. And in that situation, Harrison, it's clearly.
Number 87, offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Here it is right here. Here's Cooper. Patient, boom, bounce to the outside. Let him go. And right in front of the referee, that's going to get called every single time. This team has to play with better discipline and better technique. They're not going to be able to sustain drives by having one good play and then a negative play following.
They're on pace to smash right through the 16 from last week. O'Neal's throw. That's caught. That's Polk again. And he's out to the 38-yard line. So that's a big chunk of yardage, and it makes it a little more manageable on third down here. 8 yards on that.
Jason Polk finding areas in this zone to get open, opening those targets for Danny O'Neal.
They're down 7. O'Neal hit as he throws. Well, that's short of the first down. And that's Harrison who made the catch, and a little limp there from Danny O'Neal coming off the field. And it's 4th down and 5.
Well, they're trying to hit Harrison on the crossing route there. You're going to see O'Neal clearly not 100% right now, showing the toughness to stay in the game. But nonetheless, Oregon State defensively taking advantage of the mistakes of San Diego State.
Tyler Pastula to punt it for San Diego State. Trent Walker is deep for Oregon State. And that ball's going to bounce and kick back to about the 21-yard line. Just a 39-yard punt. Got the tablets rolling on the sideline, and a 7-0 Oregon State lead. Struggled last year, in the last year of Brady Hoke. They were 4-8 and 2-6. It was their first losing season in 14 years for the Aztecs. Beavers with the ball. Jam Griffin back in the game. Little pitch on the right side. Griffin hit, spins, stays on his feet, and then is caught from behind, but not before he gets another 4 yards.
Great contact balance that time by Jam Griffin, staying on his feet. Good pursuit that time by San Diego State. Could have got out of that one.
Now Giovanni McCoy is back into the ball game. It was Jabari Johnson who came in the last drive.
And the expectation was that Johnson was going to get some opportunity and some plays. But Giovanni McCoy is the starting quarterback, and he will get majority of the snaps.
He's 4 of 6 for 39 yards. He's 5 of 7 there. And Taz Reddix has his second catch and he's out to the 35-yard line.
7 passes already in this first half for Giovanni McCoy. Keep in mind, he only threw 10 passes all game last week. And so the game plan for Oregon State was to get him going early and give him a heavier workload in this ball game tonight. He's already done so.
1st and 10. Griffin in the backfield. McCoy to the air. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And a couple of Aztecs got to him, and they peel McCoy up off the turf.
Well, this is interesting because we're going to see Giovanni McCoy get hit here. And one of the reasons, though, is because they were actually setting up a screen pass to jam Griffin to that left side. And so you're going to let the defensive line go so your offensive line can release up and get the blocks downfield. But he decided, because pressure was in his face, to try to hit the target across the middle, but just couldn't connect that time.
You saw Taz Reddix coming off the field for Oregon State. 2nd and 10. Ground game has been outstanding. This guy especially. Griffin again started in, bounces out. Deshaun McEwen and the rest of the Aztecs catch him at the 38. It's going to be a long 3rd down now. 3rd down at about 7.
Well, watch Deshaun McEwen here. You see how he's keeping the outside leverage right there? Jam Griffin has had some success in this ball game getting around the corner, but that time McEwen showing the discipline to force the run inside.
Griffin the long way around, right? Georgia Tech, Oregon State, Ole Miss last year, and then back to Oregon State.
2 backers walked up in the A-gap. They bring 1.
McCoy flushed and firing. Caught there. Great move by Walker, and he's still shy of the 1st down. Boy, Trent Walker was able to gather himself, make a cut, and got close to the stick, but he's short, and Oregon State will punt.
You're going to see number 5 come on the blitz. That's Owen Chambliss. A nice job by Giovanni McCoy finding his target to the left by the sideline, but 2 good plays in a row by Deshaun McEwen. First, it was keeping outside leverage. On that play, it was making the tackle after Walker made the first man miss.
Josh Green's punt lands at the 20. Nice bounce for the Beavers. Rolls out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Right there at the 16-yard line. 45-yard kick, 7-0 Beavers. Aztecs with a football when we return.
And his mom, Jessica, that has made the most noise in the stands thanks to that sign that says, "Try not to suck, love mom." His mom, Jessica, told us when Jack was growing up, she didn't have any physical advice to give him, but wanted Jack to know that she was there for him. So when he left, she'd say, "I'll be at your game. Try not to suck." She says it wasn't about technique or ability. It was mentality, and that life, that sign, I should say, has taken on a life of its own for this Oregon State team. It is so much fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mom channeling her inner Joe Madden, who made that a rallying cry for the Cubs a while back, and they ended up winning the World Series. So it works. San Diego State trying to get out of their own end. And Missy Saluni, there's Kane.
Well, it's interesting, Rich, because we talked to Coach Trent Bray about Kane, and he says, look, he's the leader of this ball team. He had his first career interception last week, but it's the extra work that he puts in that separates himself from the pack.
O'Neal, heck of a long time, finds a man, caught there at the 25. That is Lewis Brown, the 4th. And he's got a 1st down, moves it out to the 27. That's a 10-yard gain.
Andy O'Neal showing the composure from the pocket, and you can see how this offense gets going. Once they have some positive plays, they start to go fast, and they're hard to stop.
Cooper trying to find some rhythm. Flag is down at the 22.
I think they're going to get Moreau here again for holding.
Holding, number 53, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, replay, 1st down.
He made 6 starts last year at that left guard spot, so he's played in that position, but it's been a tough night for him so far.
Yeah, you're going to see his left arm right there. Kind of tough from that angle, but just turns the defender. And right in front of the referee, they're going to call that every time. And look how slow San Diego State has to go now.
Cooper on a pitch, up, over, and down at the 19. It'll be up second down and really long. That's a great point, Robert, because this offense is supposed to be going fast, and with all these penalties, and they're all big ones. They all feel like they're 10 yards or 15-yard penalties.
Well, especially when you start to accumulate so many at a time, Rich.
Play action, O'Neal steps up in the pocket, fires deep, no one down there, and it's over the head of Polk. Good coverage, Skylar Thomas and Vandrawale down there as well, and this is third down and 18.
Well, good pocket awareness, I thought, from Danny O'Neal that time. Had some pressure coming around the edge, stepped up in the pocket, just out of the reach of really the defense and the offense, an overthrow, and a big third down coming up.
They took a deep shot on 2nd and 18, and the result is now it's 3rd and 18, and you would think something a little more sensible here.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of a draw. And Cooper doing hard work, but he's still well short of that first down. And Oregon State's defense right now is pitching a shutout.
Well, what they're doing, Rich, is they haven't done anything exotic defensively. Blitz packages and things of that nature, which is something we expected coming into the game. They're just simply taking advantage of San Diego State's own mistakes and just playing sound defense from there.
That's a really good punt by Pastula. Walker, the 15, breaks one tackle straight ahead, and he gets to the 26. Trent Walker off a 55-yard punt by Tyler Pastula. Take your pick on penalties. We can run this for about 2 minutes if you'd like.
I mean, this is really the reason why San Diego State has fallen behind early in this game. Got to credit their defense for keeping them in it, but offensively, they continue to fail to get things going, jumping off sides, the holding penalties. They've got to get their hands inside, move their feet, and play with better technique to get this offense going for San Diego State.
8 penalties.
That's half of what they had last week already, Rich.
Saladin Ala in the ball game. And he gets outside. Waiting for him there is Bryce Phillips, who makes the tackle after a 1-yard gain. 4 running backs have touched the ball already for Oregon State.
Well, this is the identity Oregon State wants to continue to establish regardless of who's in the backfield.
Look, Oregon State lost a lot of great talent in the transfer portal. But Giovanni McCoy, who came from Idaho, is one of the guys that looks like they really hit on. Reddix with the catch. And McCoy delivering on time. Short of the first down, though. It's at the 35.
Well, he knew he was going to be a bigger part of the game plan tonight, and he's executing with flying colors. You can tell he's experienced. He's done this before. He's led an offense before, and he talked about that in our conversation with him, Rich, becoming more and more of a leader of this football team.
They're down in 1. Both teams substituting here.
Yeah, you're going to see San Diego bring in their heavy package, extra defensive line. Oregon State's going to run this football, though.
Ala straight ahead, good push, and he'll tumble all the way across the 40 and out to the 43-yard line.
And it's really the same side, mid to right side. Van Wells at center, Tyler Volton, the right guard, Grant Stark, the right tackle. That's the area really they've leaned on in these 3rd and 4th and short situations. And it doesn't matter who the running back is, Rich. Right there with Saladin Ala, the freshman, Griffin, Hankerson. This O-line, they feel confident in short yardage situations.
2-minute timeout, 7-0 here. First half, Oregon State on top.
So, how long have you lived?
1-12. How about Northern Illinois? They had to block a last-second long-distance field goal attempt. They beat number 5 Notre Dame, and this was a classic one on CBS. The Cy-Hawk Trophy goes to Iowa State in a come-from-behind win, and the Cowboys in double overtime survive Arkansas. And the other storyline, and this makes Beaver Nation happy, Oregon is down at the half to Boise State.
Well, it's like happy and unhappy, right? It's, you're happy it's Oregon, but then Boise State being in this. Well, I guess they are happy.
Sure. I mean, look, and it's Oregon next week,
right?
For Oregon State.
It's a big game for them too.
And on this first down, Walker with a throw, or with the catch off the McCoy throw.
Look at this shot by McCoy. Threads the needle right there in between 2 defenders.
Walker got popped by Chris Johnson, but held on. Second down. Now remember, Oregon State burned 2 timeouts early in the half. They've got just one. McCoy with time. Oh, again, crossing pattern. And it's Trent Walker again. He's right on the stick. Short of the first down. Clock continues to roll.
Getting to the line of scrimmage quickly here, Oregon State.
And we have that one timeout. Clock stops on a first down. And Allah breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. And Saladin Allah has a first down. That stops the clock. They move the chains. And Oregon State is just about in field goal range.
Yeah, you see that second effort right there by Saladin Allah. Initially stopped at the line of scrimmage, but kept his feet moving and got that first down.
4 different running backs. And a very balanced attack tonight for Oregon State. McCoy, this time again, it's Walker, who can't help but get open right now. 14 more yards, another first down, well within field goal range, and the Beavers are thinking touchdown right now.
Well, Trent Walker, he mentioned how Oregon State was his dream school, and he's making a huge impact so far tonight and on this drive.
McCoy now, 3-man rush, steps through it. Nice move there, breaks another tackle down to the 22, short of the first down. Clock is not stopping, and they have to burn their last timeout. And we will step aside for 30 seconds.
People always say,
it is what it is.
Until it isn't. Remember before AI when you had to type to search?
Halftime report here in San Diego. Giovanni McCoy and the Beavers scored on their first possession. They haven't scored since, and their defense has been marvelous. San Diego State has not sniffed the end zone.
Well, they got to get something going to the sideline here. And
out of timeouts.
Yeah, out of timeouts, and if they don't, they got to get up and spike.
McCoy fires over the head of Walker, who's been the feature receiver on this drive. Chris Johnson on the coverage. And now the sticks are 3rd down and 4.
So you have to get a first down here. You don't have to go towards the sideline. You'd like to, but you got to get a first down because that stops the clock temporarily. Then you can get up and get a spike.
Yeah, and if you don't get the first down,
you got to get out of bounds.
You don't have time to spike it.
Right.
You can't spike it because it'll be 4th down, and you don't have time to get the field goal unit on. McCoy stepping, looking, firing, and it's incomplete. It's not a bad throw when you think about it.
Yeah, it's actually a really good decision by McCoy that time. Couldn't find any receivers open down the field. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He can sense that he's running out of time. And instead of forcing something down the field where there's potential turnover, he just throws it out of bounds and say, hey, let's give us an opportunity to get 3.
Everett Hayes, and this attempt will be from about 38, 39 yards. Kick is up, and it is no good. That was over the top of the upright, and so the official on the near side had to look right up the pole to see if it was in or out. And he says out.
Just on the edge that time, Rich. And a huge play for San Diego State. I tell you what, if you're Coach Sean Lewis right now, obviously you're disappointed in the way your offense has performed, but to be going into halftime only down 7 points is huge. Now, I would run this football and take us into halftime down 7.
Armstead in the backfield. And he's going to go down at the 20-yard line. So much mystery in this matchup. New head coaches, roster turnover. Week 1 wins last week for both. Oregon State looked great to begin with offensively. San Diego State's high-powered, fast offense has struggled. After the break, Brent Stover in New York. You're watching college football on CBS Sports.
We have to stop hurting ourselves. We have to be more disciplined. That is what he preached to his team during halftime. As for Oregon State, Trent Bray, he's pleased with the defense, says they still need to tackle more. As for offense, I want to use his exact words, we are going to keep running the ball because that's who we are, and in the fourth quarter, we're going to take them.
They are on pace. San Diego State is, Amanda, for just 48 plays. Remember, the outset of the telecast, you talk so much about how they want to play fast. He wants 80 plays a game. They're a long ways from that so far tonight. Giovanni McCoy was a steady leader of this offense in the first half. And Griffin across the 30, picks up 5 yards right out of the chute. Now, Oregon State scored on the first possession. Here's the rest of the way.
Well, this defense for San Diego State has really answered the call. I mean, if there's one thing that Coach Sean Lewis can be happy about with his team, it's how San Diego State's defense has responded, although their offense hasn't given them much.
It's Hankerson in the backfield. McCoy's so experienced with the great years at Idaho. Hankerson on a pitch, trying to get the edge, cuts back in, and is swallowed up about the 37, but that's a first down. It's a gain of 7. Krishna Clay made the stop.
And watch Grant Stark, that right tackle, pull, get out in front, and create a lane there, showing the athleticism to get out in space and get the block, and a nice game by Hankerson there.
Tyler Volton, who earned a scholarship this fall, is the Beaver who is down. And remember, parts of this team, there's 3 of them, especially 2 on the offensive line, played at Colorado last year for Oregon State. And of course, Sean Lewis was Colorado's offensive coordinator, and that's just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. As he had him roll right up on his leg.
You know, there was quite the competition at this right guard spot, Rich, in training camp this summer, and Volton won the job, and hate to see him go down here.
We will step aside. Tyler Volton on his way off the field. His own strength. 7-0 lead for Oregon State. Tomorrow, the 2024 NFL on CBS season kicks off with a slate of great matchups, including Patriots, Bengals. Trevor Lawrence taking on Tua. That's a CBS Sports Sunday. It's tomorrow on CBS, streaming on Paramount+. First round draft picks. Oregon State has had a really nice run, especially at the running back spot. That's since 2000. Think about go back to Ken Simonton and Steven Jackson, Bernard, Jacquizz Rodgers, Jamar Jefferson, and even the last 2 years, Damian Martinez, who would transfer to Miami. Flavio Gonzalez is in at that right guard spot. Oregon State's on the move. First possession, second half, ball at the 37-yard line. On a pitch. Hankerson, boy, you can hear that one up here. That's a hard-earned yard. And that pop, courtesy of Eric Butler.
This is what you love about football. Listen to this. Ooh. One-on-one tackle right there. Good situation for the running back. Going up against the safety, Eric Butler. Eric Butler got the best of him that time.
Hankerson still in there on 2nd down and 9. McCoy to the air. That's a diving catch by Taz Reddix. It's a terrific catch. Not a huge gain, though. It's going to be third down and sizable ways to go, maybe 6.
And this has really been the critical down in this ball game. San Diego State's defense has really answered the call for the most part in these third and medium situations. And as they try to gain some momentum to get back into this football game, they're going to need a big stop right here.
San Diego State had 2 defensive touchdowns in the second half last week. Blitz comes. McCoy has time, fires, and it's broken up. Walker, the intended receiver, Chris Johnson, arrived with the football and knocked it down.
Well, let me tell you what's amazing about this play right here. I mean, it's execution on both sides. First, you're going to get Hankerson picking up the pass protection, all right, so that Giovanni McCoy has time to throw the football. Then you get a good throw, but how about better coverage from Chris Johnson with a route coming across the middle, getting his hand in there to disrupt that catch and force fourth down.
The green punt, Mekhi Shaw will try to return it, avoids a couple tacklers, and then is blasted at the 18-yard line. 46-yard punt. San Diego State's first touch of the second half. Oregon State on top, 7-0.
Ain't no
Bonus, they get Isaiah Chisholm back for the second half. Targeting penalty last week. He had 2 other major infractions as well. And so Chisholm is on the field. San Diego State's first possession, just 101 total yards for the Aztecs and 3 first downs, Robert Turbin. That's it in the first half.
Well, for the key for San Diego State is they got to get Cooper going on the ground and establish their run game.
O'Neal takes a deep shot, a lot of contact, and as the ball picked, now it's incomplete. There were 2 Beavers down there. Lewis Brown, the 4th. It looked like Amarian York and Jack Kane had him bracketed.
Just not sure I agree with this call right here. I mean, if it's almost intercepted by Kane, if you're going to take a deep shot, do it off of play action, make it look like you're going to give it to the best player in your offense, which is what they should be doing.
And it was actually Jaden Robinson in there along with Kanye. And runs out to the 23-yard line on a second down. Melvin Jordan Jr. makes the stop. San Diego State had a lot of this. 3rd down and 7, 3rd down and 12.
And these are situations that they don't want to be in. Talked to Sean Lewis about it last night, wanting to be in those 3rd and short and create more opportunities for their offense.
4-man rush. O'Neal's throw is incomplete. And for an offense that wants to run 80 plays and wants to go really fast, San Diego State is going nowhere.
And really what we're seeing is San Diego State is, it feels like they're not really playing to their strengths and their identity. Marquez Cooper is your best player. You're throwing the ball on 1st down and then coming back to the run on 2nd when you should be establishing the run first. And I think that's one of the reasons that their offense has been behind in this ballgame.
Spoken like a longtime NFL and Super Bowl champ running back, Robert Turbin. Get him the football. Walker fields the punt, 52 yards on the punt. Beavers with the lead. Beavers with the ball when we get back. Gold medalist for the Olympics. And she will finish it tomorrow night. Oregon State now, they're trying to get their offense rolling. They scored on the first drive, but that's it. And that's Griffin for a few yards, and we check back in with Amanda. Big night here tomorrow night.
Oh, Rich, I am so emotional about this. Okay, so the San Diego Wave and the Aztecs actually share this stadium. So as soon as this game is done, everything gets changed over to celebrate Alex Morgan tomorrow. When she announced her retirement that she was pregnant with her 2nd child, the Wave sold more than 6,000 tickets in less than 3 hours. They've opened up extra seating. There's going to be celebrities here, former players. You can watch the game on CBS Sports Network, Paramount Plus. By the way, it's going to be her 150th NWSL regular season game.
That's really cool. And look, we should note too, what a great move by San Diego State to get this property. You know, the Murph was great, Qualcomm or whatever you want to call it, but it needed to get torn down. They did. They got this property. They built this stadium themselves. They have the property and they're developing it around here. There's a MLS team that's coming here next year. The women's team's been very successful. They've had great concerts here. Just brilliant by San Diego State. 3rd down 6 now. Giovanni McCoy will throw. Steps up, drops it off. That's Walker, and Walker with a 1st down at the 41-yard line. The yards after catch for him are usually pretty rugged, and these were no different.
San Diego getting a couple guys in the backfield there, bringing some pressure just with their front 4, but Giovanni McCoy showing the poise in the pocket, being patient, finding Walker coming across the middle, and this time they convert on 1st down.
That's a little flea flick. Back to McCoy, firing deep. Walker's there, and he drops it. Everything went right except the landing.
What a play call by offensive coordinator Ryan Gunderson. Oregon State has been running the football so well, and they hand the football off that time to Jam Griffin. Everybody comes up to stop the run. They run the flea flicker play. Running back pitches it back to the quarterback. He's wide open. And you've got to catch that one. That's a touchdown.
2nd and 10, empty backfield. Ooh. I'll tell you what, Chris Johnson jumped that route, and if that throw had been any lower, San Diego State would have a touchdown.
Well, Johnson, he was trying to bounce back from that last play because he's the one that got burned on that flea flicker, and you saw him looking at the sideline, hitting his chest saying, my bad, my bad. And a much more disciplined play that time on 2nd down, and here's a 3rd and long again for Oregon State. Trent Walker on the sideline.
3rd and 10. McCoy, blitz comes, he's in trouble. He's caught, he escapes, still alive. McCoy looking, scrambling, throwing, incomplete. Flags come down, not on the sideline, but out on the field. There's 2 of them out there. Cody Moon escorted him out of bounds. I don't think the flag was for a late hit. It's not in the area of the bench. But and there's another flag that's about 20 yards away from that first flag, so it feels like there's 2 infractions.
Yeah. They're either going to get holding or blocking the back on the offensive side of the ball. It'll be interesting to see if anything happened on the San Diego State side, but good initial pressure by San Diego State, flushing Giovanni McCoy outside of the pocket, and a mistake that time actually by Anthony Hankerson in his pass protection responsibilities. They're going to talk this one out. Offense for Oregon State staying on the field. And now they're walking to the side.
The 2 fouls on the play. Ineligible receiver downfield against Oregon State. Holding against Oregon State. Both those penalties are declined. Result to be 4th down.
So Trent Bray's offense was great early. It has stalled since. Sean Lewis's defense has gotten better, and they're playing quite well. The problem is Oregon State's defense has been just a little bit better. Not a good punt. Not a good punt. Watch the official, bottom of your screen. See him coming down the line. He'll line up with that back judge. He's weaving his way all the way up. Look at this. All the way to the 45-yard line. That's how badly that one was shanked.
Well, it looked like Max Garrison may have gotten a tip on it, but look at Hankerson here. He's pass protecting to the outside where his responsibility is inside. There's the hold there. And that is why that play got into a flux initially, because Anthony Hankerson didn't block the correct defender at first.
Great place to start if you're San Diego State. This is Cooper on 1st down to your liking, and he ping-pongs his way out to the across the 50, out to the 47 of Oregon State.
Look how puffed up he is, Rich. I mean, this is what they need to do on 1st down. He's the energizer bunny for this offense.
First time they've been in Oregon State territory. And a toss out to the tight end. That's Jude Wolf, the transfer from USC.
And what does that do?
It makes him go fast.
Yeah, it makes him go fast. It opens up your pass game because right there you fake it to Cooper, and now you got some open targets down the field.
It's really the first time they've been able to do this all night long. O'Neal on play action, standing there. The blitz was on, fires, sideline, and it's caught! Flags are down, Brown got it! Oh man, did he hold it? I think he did. What a terrific catch. It would have been interference, but he was able to go up and then reach down and make the catch.
Pass interference, number 4, defense. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
When you run the football, you're going to force one-on-one coverage opportunities, and look at Luis Brown, the 4th, go up and get that football. That is excellent concentration to bring that one in.
San Diego State inside the 10, in the red zone the first time. O'Neal pulls it, fires it, and it's incomplete. Brown is the intended receiver.
Cooper's upset.
Verizon red zone last week. This is their first trip this week. 3 times in, 2 touchdowns. They were awful in the first half, great in the second half, offensively against Texas A&M Commerce.
Cooper was upset on that last play. He wants the ball.
He'll get it on a pitch. Cooper cuts. Cooper on his feet down at the 2-yard line. Kane there to hit him. And it's 3rd down and goal. And they're going as quickly as they can. Ball at the 2. Cooper in the backfield. Cooper. O'Neal will keep it. He lost the ball. He lost the ball, and Oregon State has it. Nico Taylor on it. Disaster for San Diego State. There is Taylor. First time in Oregon State territory. They get down to the 2, and they cough it up. Looked like Kane, who made the tackle and stripped the ball. It was. Kane 24, Taylor 25 on it. And the Aztecs still can't get out of their own way.
A bad play call that time right there, Rich. Your best player, Marquez Cooper, I keep stressing it. You gave it to him on the toss the last play. Get him going downhill in a 3rd and 2 situation right there by the end zone. He could smell it.
McCoy backed up against his end zone. And Oregon State will keep it on the ground. Krishna Clay, the first hit there. And Anthony Hankerson, he's a 5'8", 205-pounder and a punishing runner from Boynton Beach. And Ryan Gunderson said usually he's the guy that dishes out the hurt to the tackler, not the other way around.
Well, he can do all the things offensively within this offense. Shotgun, under center, catching the football. They really like him in this role.
Reddick's in motion. 2nd and 5. Hankerson short of the first down. Clay's on the stop again for San Diego State. To bring up 3rd down.
Krishna Clay, of course, played at the College of San Mateo, my neck of the woods there in the Bay Area, before coming over here to San Diego State. Got his first career start last week and making a pretty big impact on this defense tonight.
We're going to mark that ball at the 9, so it's 3rd down and 3. McCoy with Hankerson. He'll throw it. Looking, scrambling, and he's got the first down. And then takes a hit right about the 14-yard line. Latuli, that's Tano Latuli, made the stop.
Well, Giovanni McCoy, I mean, he's going through his progressions. He looks left, nobody's there. Then he's trying to find Taj Reddick, who's coming across the middle. He's covered. Nice job there by San Diego State's defense, but a better job then by Giovanni McCoy finding a little bit of a crease and getting that first down.
You saw the disparity of first downs. There's a huge disparity in number of plays offensively. And that's an enormous win for Oregon State. They've taken the tempo out of the high tempo of San Diego State's offense. Part of it has been their running game and obviously their defense. Look at the offensive plays right now, 55-33. Sean Lewis told us yesterday, as Amanda said earlier, he wants to get to 80 plays. Trent Bray would like to keep him under 60. And it feels like he's on pace to doing that.
There's space here for a play action shot for Oregon State at some point in this drive.
That guy, Trent Walker, has had a busy night.
Well, I mentioned, you know, this was his dream school to come here to Oregon State. As we look at this out-breaking route there by Trent Walker, hard to guard all night tonight. But his whole family attended Oregon State as well.
7 catches, 51 yards.
And he's been a beast tonight.
McCoy, there's the play action. Walker's wide open in the middle of the field, and he missed him. How did he miss him? There may not have been a passing lane if we look at that again, but Walker broke open and was just standing there wide open.
I don't know what it is. I mean, these guys, they seem to be able to connect on the steady stuff down the field, but when they're wide open, first it was the drop by Walker, this time it's the missed throw by Giovanni McCoy, but it was a good call right there. These defenders syncing up. It was a nice play action decision to be able to take a shot.
Second down 10. Pump fake, scramble, flag down. McCoy tiptoes along the sideline. He's out of bounds short of the first down, but the flag looks like a hold back at the 20.
Oh, man. Looks like
Holding, number 66, offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, replay, second down.
It's the Nevada transfer, Grant Stark.
Grant Stark with the hold here. Let's take a look at it. Nice rush that time by Luis. He's good there, but then boom. And he should just let him go because his quarterback is gone, but McCoy, there it is, that left hand right there, boom. That's holding. McCoy had David Wells Jr. on a double move wide open down the right sideline and flushed him out that time and forced a holding penalty. Good job by Luis.
Second down and 20. Another quick throw there. That's Jeremiah Noga. And the flag is down right at the line of scrimmage.
Ineligible downfield, number 84. The receiver was covered by another receiver. 5-yard penalty from previous spot. Replay second down.
So now Oregon State with their share of penalties, and you're going to see Jermaine Terry, the second, go out on a route. But one of those receivers has to be off of the football to make him eligible.
So it's 2nd and 25. McCoy to throw, has some heat, nice screen. That's Hankerson out to the 20. Hankerson blasts his way to the 23, but he's well short of a first down. 13 yards, and it will be third down and about 12.
Well, it's really a great call to get a chunk of those yards back. I mean, 3rd and 12 is still a sticky situation, but it's better than 3rd and 20, but looks like 66 there. Stark runs into his own teammate and gets rolled up, but he's staying in the game.
Third down and a long 11. McCoy flushed, man open. Guess who? Walker with the catch. Walker with the first down. Walker on his feet, and he's 40. Out of bounds at the 35. Trent Walker is killing it right now. 41 yards on that catch.
Well, you know what's interesting? He catches this ball, he makes a move, and their best corner, Chris Johnson, was not on the field on that play, who's typically that left side boundary corner. And right after that big play, he comes off the sideline and says, hey, get out, I'm back into the game.
13 targets, 8 catches, 92 yards. Walker on the sideline for a breather. Hankerson in the backfield. Oregon State on the move, despite the penalties by the Beavers. Bouncing it out is Hankerson. Hankerson inside the 25. Beavers are rolling, 11 more yards there. William Nemo made the stop.
Well, now you get the sense Oregon State is sort of starting to impose their will on this San Diego State defense. They've been stout for the majority of the game, but a couple big plays now have been demoralizing for San Diego State's defense, and Oregon State is taking advantage right now. 8 rushes for first downs tonight for Oregon State.
169 yards on the ground as well for the Beavers, and they'll add to it. Hankerson to the 20 with 4 more yards, 2nd down and 6.
Hankerson's going to get a breather as Jam Griffin comes back into the game. And this is, I mean, what a great benefit for Oregon State to have 2 backs who can essentially do it all. We talked to Ryan Gunderson about these guys. Says, hey, typically when you have 2 backs, you get one back that has one skill set and another with a different skill set. But it's different with these guys. They're both 3-down backs that can handle all of the jobs and responsibilities a running back has to do.
And we've seen Saladin Allah and Jake Reichel on some big carries as well. Griffin, a yard, if that. Tano Letuli with the stop. Remember, Oregon State missed a field goal in the waning seconds of the first half. They're a lot closer now. It would be about a 37-yarder from this point.
Well, San Diego State been put in some tough situations. You've given up some big plays on this drive, but here it is, an opportunity to get off the field. But there's number 7 at the top of your screen, Trent Walker. Let's see if Giovanni McCoy goes to the well and finds him again.
They're going to stay on the ground, and a little short of the first down is Griffin. Final seconds of this 3rd quarter. He's a yard shy. So what do you do here? Do you try to get the first down? They'll probably wait till the 4th quarter and talk it over.
Well, I think they're going to go for it. I think that run indicates, again, to me, when you're in a 3rd and medium situation like that, you run the football, you're essentially saying it's 2-down territory.
Trent Bray will talk it over. And we'll see what the Beavers choose when they get to the 4th. 7-0 Oregon State. The Beavers on the road at San Diego State. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper. Into the 4th, Oregon State and San Diego State. Game summary. Look at the bottom. The plays, just 33 plays for San Diego State and just 12 minutes and 42 seconds time of possession. Again, this offense is designed to go fast. They were hoping to get like 80 plays in. Yeah, that ain't going to happen tonight.
Well, that's really an unbelievable stat, but here it is, 4th down. Oregon State is deciding to go for it. I would kick it in this situation, but they feel confident. Again, their offensive line, and there's Hankerson on that right side. That's where they like to run in these situations.
Hankerson cuts to the left, stiff arm to the 5, on his feet and in, touchdown, Oregon State. Hankerson, 15 yards.
Hankerson does an excellent job pressing the right side of the line of scrimmage and then making the cut to the left side. That defense, undisciplined, haven't seen that, didn't contain the edge on the opposite side, and Hankerson took advantage, utilizing his speed to get to the edge and score.
Extra point up and good. San Diego State was down 7-0. They were on the doorstep. I mean the doorstep. Danny O'Neal, their true freshman quarterback, coughed it up. Oregon State goes 98 yards in 13 plays, and it's 14-0. Scoring summary, how impressive is that? The other thing, 8 minutes off the clock. They're taking the air out of the ball with their offense and with their defense. This has been a clinic from Trent Bray and the Beavers.
Well, one of the big keys to slowing down an up-tempo offense is to keep that offense on the sideline. And they've done an excellent job doing that tonight, Oregon State.
Rogue, pound for pound, and of course we're going defense for Oregon State.
Yes. I mean, speaking of keeping that offense on the sideline, Oregon State's defense has answered the call. They've stopped the run. They've slowed down Marquez Cooper, their best player. They've forced turnovers. Even when San Diego State had things going, they found ways to be disruptive, and it's led to San Diego State not having any points in this ballgame.
Danny O'Neal, remember, marched his team all the way down to the 3-yard line. And then you saw the fumble. He pulls it and tries to slide and then gets stuck and goes down, and he's fortunate that he's okay. He was trying to go into a slide, and let's see what stuck. Was it the knee brace that stuck?
It's a nice job right there by Coop.
Yeah, his brace actually stuck in the ground and popped him up. That's scary. 2nd and 11. O'Neal's throw, a little inside slant. He had 3 guys over there, and he chose poke, and he chose wisely. And it's 3rd down, but their offense is at the line and ready to go. 3rd down and a long 2. Cooper.
That's a big run.
And that's a 1st down.
Now, there's still enough time in this game, Rich, for San Diego State to establish some run dominance with Marquez Cooper. You don't have to just throw the football. Your defense has been good.
O'Neal, pocket, lofts it up, has a man, and it's broken up. Balin Brooks was open, maybe a little too much air under it. Kane got there, along with Kobe Singleton.
Well, this is the guy, Sean Lewis, we talked to about where he says, hey, he wants to hit him down the field, and I'm surprised they're not reviewing this for potential targeting penalty.
2nd down and 10. Oh, big play by Thomas Collins, who stood out last week, a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, Coach Trent Bray talked about how proud he was of the development of Thomas Collins, only a redshirt freshman, and he stepped up in a big way.
3rd down and 11. Not a lot of success on 3rd down. 4-man rush. And throw it, it's incomplete. And Cooper was the intended receiver, but it looked like he was tangled up with Tavita Pomee. And that's an incompletion.
Well, you're going to see Marquez Cooper
see that?
Get released there on the screen route, and that should have been.
That was Thomas Collins.
Pass interference on that call. They got away with that.
Walker's deep. Blocked. It's blocked. Ball down there at the 38-yard line. Flags go down.
This is going to be a late hit.
It is. The question is, was the play over, and is the late hit applied to the recovery or the end of the play? Because once the play is down, it was 4th down, and the officials are huddled there.
It's interesting what Oregon State did right there. They lined up the defenders on the right side of the formation as if that's where they were going to bring the pressure, and then they brought number 5 to the left.
Play is a block kick recovered by the kicking team. After the play, personal foul late hit, number 34 of the defense. 15 yards will be brought to the end of the kick. First down, Oregon State.
So, end of the play was the key word.
Yep.
And the play was over, but the penalty.
Timeout on the field.
Going to push this ball back into Oregon State territory.
Yeah,
Everything coming up Beavers right now. The offense with a long drive. The special teams with a block punt. And Oregon State on the road and on top. That's there. Here, San Diego State fumbled at their goal line, seemingly on the verge of tying it at 7, and it's been downhill since. Sonic quarterback comparison for the true freshman, Danny O'Neal, 9 of 19, 102 yards. McCoy hasn't been spectacular, but he's been effective. He's run in opportune times and picked up some critical yardage when they've needed it. Dropped it, turns around. This is Ala. And Ala is across midfield into San Diego State territory. Last drive for Oregon State, a long one.
Well, it started with the fumble there at the goal line. The defense recovers, offense takes over. Giovanni then is able to find his favorite target tonight, Trent Walker. He's able to break a tackle, turn it into a big play. And then Anthony Hankerson finding some space on the edge and getting into the end zone.
Ala caught from behind. That's Darian Dalton who makes the stop. And so this is going to be a 3rd down and a long 3, it looks like. That's the drive. Time of possession is important too. The Beavers are doing a nice job of subtly running the play clock down before each snap.
And I think you're still in 4-down territory. I mean, Oregon State's been aggressive tonight. Jam Griffin is back into the ball game. We've seen Oregon State run the football with him on 3rd downs. I see that. Let's see if they do it again right here.
You see the play clock down under 5. Pitch getting outside is Griffin. And he's knocked out of bounds. That's a 1st down. And the Beavers just keep on rolling.
That time on the option play. You're taught right here as a quarterback. Press, 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 boom. Right before you get tackled, that's when you want to pitch that football. Great timing and pitch relationship between Giovanni McCoy and Jam Griffin, and able to convert that 3rd down.
Oregon State with Oregon next week in Corvallis. And you saw Oregon's trailing Boise State. Beavers are taking care of business here tonight in San Diego. Ala bounces off the tackle. This guy can run too. He's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. And of course, it's Oregon State and Washington State on their own. Trent Bray talked about, how do you sell this to your team? And the one thing he said that really stood out, he said Oregon State and Oregon State fans always have a chip on their shoulder, and they use that to their advantage. And this year, it feels like that chip is just a little bigger.
We've seen some coaches sort of shy away from the conversation as far as the college football playoff is concerned. Not Trent Bray. He believes in this unit and believes that they can be in the postseason this year.
On a 2nd down carry, that's a yard for Ala. And the challenge, of course, for the Beavers is to stay relevant in the college football world. And as Trent Bray told us, the only way we can do that is by winning. And this would be a nice first step here to win on the road against San Diego State.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got 3 straight home games, following this.
Yeah, Purdue comes in after Oregon.
Absolutely.
Colorado State after that.
100%. And another 3rd down situation for Oregon State. Jam Griffin back into the game on this 3rd down. Last couple times they've handed the football off. I think this is going to be a passing situation.
Flags are down. And that's going to be a delay of game. Here's another thing, too.
Delay game, number 5, Oregon State. 5-yard penalty, remain third down.
We've been going back to Brent in New York for that the back and forth between Oregon and Boise State.
Yeah.
At the end of the schedule, Oregon State finishes their regular season at Boise State.
Yeah, a key matchup for them. But they got to take care of it. It's a long ways away. They got to take care of business here tonight and worry about Oregon next week. But they keep winning, they'll be in the conversation at the end of the year like they want to be.
They're down in 10, actually 11. Aztecs show blitz, they bring 4. McCoy is flushed, flips it, Griffin the catch. Griffin up, lost the ball. They'll mark it from where he lost it. And that's going to be well short of a first down.
Griffin's got to be careful right here. Generally, as running backs, we're taught not to elevate in the air like that because that is the result that can happen. You can fumble the football. Looks like they're going to kick the field goal here on 4th down.
Well, this is no ordinary field goal. This is a 54-yard attempt. Hayes in his career, a 50-yarder against Oregon, a 60-yarder at altitude at Colorado. 54 yards with a senior out of Granite Bay, California. That's plenty of leg, but hooked it. San Diego State's got 8:52 left. They're down 2 touchdowns. They'll have pretty good field position. Hayes got all of it. Just wide. San Diego, 14-0. Oregon State on top. San Diego State possession. The Aztecs running out of time. And a big play there. That's Isaiah Chisholm, who didn't play in the first half. Comes up and pops Cooper. That's a loss of 3, 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, Chisholm getting into the action. Redshirt freshman from Santa Clara, California. Nice play that time.
Trying to go fast. O'Neal's flushed. He's got the knee brace on, looking, little flip, and there's contact and a lot of flags. That's pass interference.
Yeah, that's the right call right there.
It's also a good job by the receiver to sell it, to try to come back to the ball and get up on the defender like that.
Yeah, and right there, Andre Jordan, good coverage initially, but you can see just him pushing.
Pass interference, number 27, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Andre Jordan, really a player who's improved on this football team. Talking to Coach Bray about him, he won the starting role. He's a redshirt freshman, but you're going to see right here, as he goes up for the catch, just runs into the wide receiver.
It was Balin Brooks, the wide receiver.
And it's a good call by the referee.
It's a 15-yard penalty. They mark it at the 46.
Can San Diego State take advantage now?
Not sure. Maybe they're going to remark it
of this opportunity.
Yeah, they may have come up short on this. And I think the Aztecs bench alerted the officials that maybe their math wasn't up to snuff.
Game of inches.
They moved that right at midfield. There's still time if you're San Diego State. Cooper flags down. Nico Taylor made the stop. Flags back at the 50-yard line and in the tackle box, so you suspect a hold. And there's been a whole lot of holding tonight.
Personal foul, chop block, number 74 and 55 of the offense. 15 yards from the previous spot, replay first down.
That's a chop block. That's Nate Williams and Braden Bryant.
So you're going to see, there it is right there.
When a guy's engaged,
Yeah.
you can't go low.
Exactly.
So they march it right back where they started, 35-yard line. O'Neal fires into traffic, deflected and incomplete. And Drawway with the defender on that.
And this has really been the story of the night for San Diego State. I mean, anytime they've gotten something positive going, they move themselves back and sort of force themselves to play an offense they didn't want to play.
Another deep shot for O'Neal. Got a man. It's Brown, and it's over his head. Kane was on the coverage.
And Brown had him beat by a couple yards. Just overthrew him that time. You're going to see Danny O'Neal step up in the pocket, and I thought he slightly rushed there. Got a little antsy seeing his receiver wide open, and you can see him just a little disappointed in himself, knowing that was a big missed opportunity.
What does Sean Lewis have on the play card that's 3rd down and 25?
Not very many.
Again, 4-man rush. Far side, caught there, and nice job to get him out of bounds by Andre Jordan Jr. and keep him far away from the sticks. Balin Brooks with the catch. This is 4th down and a bunch. They're going to go for it.
Not sure I agree with this call at all.
This is 4th down and 18.
I would punt this football if I were San Diego State.
4th and 18. O'Neal's going to load up, fire over the middle. Oh, caught. And then a big hit by Skylar Thomas, and it's incomplete. Thomas arriving with the football. And another big play by Oregon State's defense. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network.
On the football.
Well done. That was a clean operation. 14-0. Oregon State on top. Now they can just run clock and try to move the sticks. And San Diego State, Kyle Moretti makes the stop. 7.5 minutes left. The Aztecs went for it on 4th and 18 and did not get it. And
didn't agree with that call because your defense has been playing well for the most part in this ball game, and you still got all 3 of your timeouts if you're San Diego State. Now you've given Oregon State the ball with good field position, and they can take their time, Rich. They can essentially run their 4-minute offense with just under 7 minutes left to go in the game.
We saw Skylar Thomas there. Wanted to see that hit again on the tablet. That's almost a busted run there. And another nice Jam Griffin 1st down.
Yeah, and when you look at this right here, on the left side, a nice down block by the tight end, Jermaine Terry II, opening up that gap for Jam Griffin to then run through for a huge gain to convert that 1st down. And Oregon State's going to take their time. When you're in a 4-minute offense, there's no need to rush. You run the play clock all the way down to about 2 seconds before snapping it, and that's what they're doing here.
Beavers have run for 230 yards. On 1st and 10, there's 3 more there. Some key plays in this one. It was 7-0. Aztecs were on the doorstep and fumbled on this 3rd and goal. Special teams. And then this is that 4th and 18. The Thomas hit.
You know what's great about that hit on that 4th down play by Skylar Thomas? He got his head out of it, used his shoulder pad, and was in the strike zone. He got great technique that time.
Griffin out of the 21. It's be 3rd down and 3. A field goal here makes it a 3-score game.
I think you're in 4-down territory at this situation if you're Oregon State. You've missed 2 field goals in this game. San Diego State hasn't really proven to you that they can consistently do anything effectively offensively. I think you run the ball here. If you don't get it, you go for it on 4th down if you're Oregon State.
It's Hankerson in the backfield. Go play action. McCoy rolling, throwing, end zone. Caught there. Bryce Caulfield, 21 yards. Caulfield, the sophomore, out of Lake Oswego. was open, and McCoy on the run put it on the money.
We call this play roll right, Rich, where it looks like you're going to run an outside run play to the running back. You fake it to him, then the running back goes into the flat. Then you leak the tight end over the top. And what you do is you create a high-low for the quarterback. That time he went high to the tight end for the touchdown. A nice pass.
And Oregon State has stretched the lead to 3 touchdowns.
Look at this. Roll right. Fake the run. Running back goes into the flat. Then you leak the tight end over the top. High-low situation. You get those secondary defenders coming down to stop the run. And left Caulfield open, wide open for another Oregon State touchdown. And they've essentially, they're putting this game out of reach now.
Oregon State has got themselves a really good one in Giovanni McCoy. He's made great decisions tonight. He's been accurate with his throws. That's not an easy throw. You know, you're rolling, you're headed to the sideline. It's not quite across your body, but pretty, close.
Well, Coach Bray mentioned his maturity coming into this program. The extra time and work that he puts in when nobody's watching, the film study. And he's been putting it on display tonight. We knew coming into tonight that he was going to have a heavier workload. How was he going to handle it? Well, he's handled it with flying colors.
A lot to think about, a lot to watch. As we head to New York, coming up, CBS Sports Network in the studio, Inside College Football. The crew is still there. They're staying up late. All the late games, that wild Oregon-Boise State game, which is going down to the last minute. Highlights of this one. How about San Jose State going on the road? And Coach Ken not running the option anymore. They put it up and they beat Air Force. Congratulations to the Spartans.
Big time win for San Jose State.
And San Diego State's keeping it on the ground. They're down 3 touchdowns with 4.5 minutes left.
Well, it's a little late for that now. Down 21 in the fourth quarter, under 5 minutes to go. This is a situation now you're going to have to put the pressure on your true freshman quarterback, Danny O'Neal. He's going to have to dissect this defense, and he's going to have to be the guy to make some plays on this drive, both with his arm and his legs.
Clearly, there's no urgency as the play clock is under 10. So we hand it off again. So it feels like San Diego State has said enough, and we're going to establish the run game and try to take something away from that as they head to Cal next week to take on a Golden Bear team that won on the road in the SEC and beat Auburn today.
They have seemingly waved the white flag. This is football. Anything can happen. We've seen some historic games as far as comebacks and things of that nature in college football, and I know there's not a lot of time left, but man, it could be one play. Boom, get a quick strike, get down and score a touchdown, and now you've got some momentum. But it really feels like now San Diego State, with 3 runs in a row here, have sort of mailed it in.
And not going for it on 4th and 5. That's an Ariza-like punt. It's good to see Matt Ariza in the NFL. 21-0 Oregon State on top. 63 yards on that punt. Old Trapper, player of the game. How about this guy? Unstoppable, open all night. Trent Walker. And he had the biggest catch and run, I think, of the night when he sprung that 41-yarder.
Well, we talked to Coach Trent Bray about this kid, and he said, look, he's the most consistent player that we have out there at the wide receiver position. And if anybody's been consistent tonight, it's been Trent Walker. He's been amazing.
He catches 92 yards.
He's been a big-time football player in tonight's matchup.
Ben Gulbranson is in at quarterback. Saladin Allah is the tailback. And Allah. Now last week, first game as a head coach into the cold tub. And he took it like a champ. His play sheet wet. Way to go. Amanda, you asked him what happens with the next win, didn't you?
He said with the next one, which very well looks like it's going to be tonight here in a couple minutes, he might have a little bit of security. But the players love that he was willing to do that because they really think of him as a player's coach. And it's something like that, being willing to be thrown in a cold tub, that shows them how loyal he is to them in this team.
Like I said, this is a really nice step forward for Oregon State. 2-minute timeout. In San Diego tonight, all Beavers, and a tough night for the Aztecs. And neither team showed their cards in easy week 1 wins last week. And look at this. San Diego State has just 47 plays, an up-tempo offense that was absolutely short-circuited tonight by a brilliant Oregon State defense.
Haven't even had the ball for 20 minutes tonight, Rich. Dominant performance by Oregon State.
And that play will get blown up at the 9. Bryce Phillips with a stop. Now, during the break, you and I were talking about San Diego State punting the football on 4th and 5, and you know that it still had at least some time to maybe drive down the field, avoid the shutout, practice your 2-minute offense, but they just felt that they couldn't move the ball, they couldn't get the first down, and kind of white flagged it and punted. And then San Diego State with Jordan Napier caught right at midfield. All right, so now we focus on what's ahead for both teams. As we told you, Oregon next week, look at all the way down at the bottom of their schedule. Washington State on the 23rd and at Boise State. Cal on the road. After watching Cal today, that's going to be a really fun game and a tough game for Oregon State.
Yeah, obviously Oregon and Purdue at home the next couple weeks. Those are key games for them. Then when they go on the road against Cal, I mean, that's going to be a key game. When they play Washington State is a big game, and obviously Boise at the end of the season. Now they're throwing.
Now they are throwing it. And O'Neal is caught and dropped by Nico Taylor. If you're San Diego State now, you've got to find some tempo with your offense, and they are on the road against Cal next week. And then they see Jim McElwain and Central Michigan on the road before Hawaii comes in here.
Well, Cal had a big win today, but this schedule's not really going to get any easier for San Diego State. These teams in the Mountain West, even when they get into conference play, are talented, and they've got some issues that they really need to clean up if they're going to want to be competitive.
It's funny, reflexively, when you talk about the Cal win, you say that's a great win for the ACC. Right?
It does sound.
It does sound weird.
Yeah, I got to be honest, Rich. I'm shocked. The drive before this, that San Diego State didn't come out more aggressively offensively. I mean, we've seen teams be down 30 or 40 points in a game, and from a pride standpoint, still want to at least get some points on the board.
Beaver Nation has to be proud. They traveled well here. There's a lot of Oregon State fans in San Diego for this one. And Trent Bray is 2-0, and you know what? I'm sure he'd gladly jump in a cold tub if they keep winning.
They showed that video. I'm shocked he wasn't shivering after that. I wonder how cold the cold tub was.
And and you know what? Give Keith Hayward, the first-year defensive coordinator, a lot of credit.
Yeah.
They pitch a shutout here against an up-tempo offense that put a lot of points on the board in week 1.
Well, he's really been good everywhere he's gone. And the funny thing is, well, the interesting thing is we expected Oregon State to blitz a lot. They didn't have to. He really didn't dial up the pressures that I know he has in his playbook they played sound defense and they were able to dominate tonight.
Well, maybe they're saving that for the Ducks next week. Amanda Guerra